Yo, what's going on, everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know what it is. This is Kevin from the It's the Chord Progression Podcast, brought to you by My Song Day Rock 2000 to today. Today's Tuesday, December 31st, so Happy New Year's Eve, and well, if you're listening to this any other day, Happy 2020 to you as well, because gotta wish you guys a brand new, well, good start to the decade and year and whatever you want to call it, the 2020s. So, enough with that. Let's get into the show. Before I get into that, you guys know what's coming right now. Right now, it's coming with the shameless plugs. You guys know what the shameless plug section is for. This is for, if we had advertising for the show, I'd put it out there right away for you guys. So, if you guys want to listen to it, you could. But if you guys didn't want to, I wasn't going to sprinkle in there. I wasn't going to go all Pat McAfee on it. But then again, I do like listening to Pat McAfee anyway. So, he always makes it kind of funny. But if we had any advertising, which we don't at the moment because it's been a crazy December trying to get everything else done, I'll explain all that as we go along. But I'm just going to plug the My Song of the Day stuff because we're all under the My Song of the Day umbrella, or under my umbrella. Ella, I just want all Rihanna on you guys. Okay, so follow the My Song of the Day, Rock 2000 Today page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. So for Facebook, anytime anything gets released, whether it's the Song of the Day feature, your 30-second preview, the podcast, the YouTube videos, that's where you're going to know about it. I mean, we're going to send out the same stuff on Twitter as well, but Twitter, you're going to be able to talk to us a lot more because it's a little bit more, for that social interaction. Instagram's probably our top one right now. Wait, is that making a little more feedback? Just a little bit. Hopefully I'm not too bad. But, no, because that should be fine. I mean, it's just my computer just trying to run some stuff. So, Instagram, what we got going there, that's probably our biggest overall page. So, what we do there is we talk to you guys. We post a 30-second clip of the song every single day. We ask you guys questions, so we're constantly engaging with you. We have our Instagram live streams every single Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central. And the reason we have those is just so you guys can come to talk to us for an hour. We just kind of can get into some of those crazy conversations. Whether it's conversations about music, life, I mean, it always starts out with music, but always goes somewhere completely else. It's just, you guys are the ones driving the conversation, and I'm just flowing with it. So, absolutely love doing those. And our IGTV videos every Tuesday night. That's a behind-the-scenes look at what's going on with us. So you can kind of get a look at what's going on with My Song of the Day that you're not necessarily seeing up front. And it's just basically like a video vlog, vlog of me going off on it. TikTok, we do some fun stuff, just kind of like silly videos. YouTube, subscribe to that channel because we put out videos every single Wednesday. I know I just got done with the year-end videos, so those are all out there. The next video will be the 2020 preview, so I'll be like, hey, so what's coming up in 2020? What are Kevin's predictions? What are we expecting to see? So get ready for that as well. All the links for everything, like to follow, subscribe, everything in the description below. I want to thank you guys for listening to the Chord Progression Podcast as well. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and you can actually watch the podcast on YouTube as well. So like when we've done interviews with Kingdom Collapse and GFM Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh, you can see us actually talking to them. And 2020, we're going to make sure they're even bigger and even better. And we also have our Amazon Lex skill. That's where you can hear the whole entire Song of the Day feature, including any song that's, during the week, that day, or, the small band Saturday ones. You can hear a small band that's trying to be up and coming, or is up and coming. So you can get a listen to them as well early on, so that, all of a sudden they make it big and be like, hey, I heard them on My Song Day Rock 2000 today before you guys heard them, so ha 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 ha. So yeah. We're going to help you guys, discover rock music, just get engaged with everybody that loves rock music in a discussion, to the point where if you want to say you like something, yeah, say you like something. You want to say you dislike something, yeah, go for it. All we ask you to do is, if you're going to say you dislike it or like it, just say why. Just say why. I mean, music hits us all differently, so just want to know the reason behind it. But yeah, so links for everything that I just mentioned in the description of the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, links in the description below. But now let's get on to the show. Now, this one, I was going to plan on doing something like, all-encompassing. We're at the end of the year. We're at the end of 2019. Taking a look back at the year that was, everything that came out about it, and looking forward to 2020. And yeah, we're still going to do that, so don't worry about that. But the thing I really want to get on first is, because this was on Friday the 27th, I believe. Where the heck is my computer cursor? There's a band that I have been very, very critical this year in 2019. And you guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about if you've stuck with me, any time over the past year. You guys know I've been very critical of Bring Me the Horizon. You guys know I really, really, really disliked their Amo album to the point where when it came down to doing the worst of the year list, I mean, you guys picked Amo as the worst of the year, which I would have totally agreed with because I had Amo at number 2. But after hearing that AJR crap, I had to put that at number 1. That is still, in my opinion, much worse than Amo because Amo actually had a song like Mantra on there, which I'm like, I actually like Mantra because it was, again, had like that That's the Spirit vibe to it. And I've made another video about why Bring Me the Horizon went this route with like that more poppy route. And then I listened to Ludens. Now, Ludens I actually don't mind as a song because if they're going to go with that poppier route, I kind of like what they did with Ludens where they kind of mix that their metalcore style and like even some like the rougher style that they had in with some of that EDM stuff. So it's like it's not the best song in the world, but like if I'm playing soccer or something, like I'm trying to warm up in the gym or something, that's usually the first song I stick with. And then I usually like lately it's been my soccer warm up. It's been first one is listen to Ludens, then it's listen to a shit ton of Ice Nine Kills, and then right before I go on, I listen to Popular Monster by Falling in Reverse, and I am freaking set and ready to go for that game. But then on the 27th, what did Bring Me the Horizon come out with? I mean, they came out with this album. It's like music to listen to, dance to, blaze to, pray to, feed to, sleep to, talk to, walk to. God, I don't even know how many verbs to they put in there. I know it's like 50 words long. And I'm like, okay, what the heck are they doing here? I was real concerned about this one specifically because I'm like, okay, something's definitely not right. And as I was listening to it, I'm like, okay, let's listen to it. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a taste. Let's see what they're going off on. And after I listen, I'm like, what in the heck are they doing? What is this? Because it's like a 8-song thing. I think it's only 8 songs. Yeah, it's an 8-song thing where one of our followers actually said, hey, did you see Bring Me the Horizon drop this? I said, no. Is it any good? They said, you're definitely not going to want to listen to it. I said, well, I have to because it's perfect to talk about in the podcast. You get an EP to release a couple days before the end of the year. I mean, it's perfect to add in there. I was looking for something to really want to talk about, and I'm glad this came out because I wanted to talk about it. But I am really mad this came out because I don't know what the heck they were thinking. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at I was listening to the whole entire thing. Like, you've got the smallest song or the shortest song is 4 minutes and 40 seconds long. The longest is 24 minutes and 6 seconds. I mean, I listened to some of these songs. I mean, there's Steal Something, which is the first one, which is I was like, what? Okay, this is definitely what I was actually expecting from them on something like this. But I'm like, I still didn't want it to happen. And oh god, it just. I was talking with one of my friends about. Now, this is my friend from high school. If you guys have been listening to the Chord Progression podcast, halfway through 2019, I actually had him on as a call-in, and we went like 2 hours just talking about music in the first half of 2019, what we liked, what we disliked. He's a huge Fever 333 guy, so of course we talked about that. But he was like, dude, did you listen to new Bring Me Horizon? He said, it's trippy. I said, yeah, it's freaking trippy, but it's really weird, and it makes absolutely no sense to me. It's like, this was the route that I was hoping they wouldn't take. Especially after Amo. It's like, because after Amo, I'm like, you could go one of two directions. You could either you could go many different directions, but the two directions I saw him going were kind of even going further into it, like steering into that more pop kind of sense, or kind of going away from it, but keeping it a little bit. So you're kind of going, like, mixing, your old and the new. And with Ludens, they mix the old and the new. So I was very happy with that. I'm like, okay, it looks like they're starting to change it up a little. You're mixing the old with the new. You're creating something that I actually really enjoy. And again, this is all my opinion too, but God, I don't know what the heck they were thinking. Like, this is the kind of music where you sit down, you smoke a joint or 3, I don't know what the hell or just take a couple of bong rips, hell, even like use one of those vaporizers or something, and you just completely lose yourself and you go on your own frickin' trip and just enjoy. Now, that's this kind of music. Of course, the reason why I'm not a big fan of it is because I'm like, this is not Bring Me the Horizon. It's when I looked at Amo, it was like a lot of, like, their core sound was completely stripped away on most of the songs, which is what I don't like about it. And that's because they went much more pop tendency with it. Now, granted, I know there's a lot of bands that change their sound over time. It happens. I totally understand that. There's a lot of times it works well. But the thing is those bands are all found as to a core. There's always this core that really works for the band, and that's what makes the band them. And if you lose that core, then it just kind of completely loses you. I mean, take a look at Sleeping with Sirens. I mean, especially on the Gossip album, they really lost that core. And then with How It Feels to Be Lost, they came back and brought it back. And look at the difference between Gossip and How It Feels to Be Lost. Gossip really didn't get well received from many people that really like Sleeping with Sirens for a long time. Gossip got well received by a lot of pop music fans because it had a lot more pop tendencies. But then they come out with How It Feels to Be Lost, and How It Feels to Be Lost was well received by both groups. I put it on my best of the year list, and I think it came in at 6 for albums of the year. It came in at 6 albums of the year. Most surprising, it came in at number 2. And I mean, I was like, that's what I was hoping for. I'm trying to think of a couple other bands that kind of like changed their sound up a little bit for the better. At times, I'll use Papa Roach as an example as well, and I just kind of got done lambasting Papa Roach as the most disappointing album of the year because you take a look at what they did back in the really original, early 2000s with Between Angels and Insects, and of course Last Resort. They were totally new metal going into it. That was their foundation. That was something, and then you go into songs like Getting Away with Murder. Scars was a lot more emo driven, but it still had that sound to it. Hollywood Horror, Still Swingin', Burn, it had that Papa Roach sound to it. But then all of a sudden, once Fear came out, they changed it up a bit. They went more kind of like hard rock instead of new metal. So they kind of reinvented themselves. I mean, take a look at a song like Gravity. Gravity really shows the power that Papa Roach had when they kind of tweaked their sound, but they still had the core there. I was like, so that was probably my favorite album by Papa Roach's Face Everything and Rise or Fear. I mean, you got songs like Fear Falling Apart and Gravity on there. Absolutely. Then you go into Crooked Teeth, and I was like, Crooked Teeth still had it. I mean, there were songs that they pulled it more back a little bit with that hard rock style, like with Help and American Dream. And I still like those. Crooked Teeth had that more of an old school sound, which I really did like. But then they kind of did some more with pop tendency stuff. And then Who Do You Trust? They really steered in that pop style. And I thought, no, I was really disappointed. However, the silver lining was I thought Renegade Music was the song they should have stuck with, because that song would be absolutely insanely fun to mosh to. But looking at what Bring Me the Horizon's doing, it's just there is no more core sound from them. And I get it, bands kind of change styles, they change sounds, but it's not there anymore. And there's a band that I absolutely love where their core sound is very minimal that you can find in there, and that's 30 Seconds to Mars. I mean, you guys know I really like 30 Seconds to Mars. I really like their old stuff. Their new stuff I can't stand, but I'm like, you know what? I still listen to the old stuff. Same thing. Bring Me the Horizon is basically becoming the next version of what 30 Seconds to Mars did, where you started out with this harder sound. There's Mars, of course, they had that futuristic space rock. Then they had a hard rock emo sound. They went more alt rock. They went more alternative. Now they will go more poppy. And that's how their subsequent 5 albums went. And then you take a look at Bring Me the Horizon, it was straight up deathcore at the beginning. Then it's really mellowed out since, from going from deathcore to metalcore to hard rock to pop rock, and now to just straight up trippy music. I mean, but I just really don't like, because it's their core sound is gone. And I take a look at another band that kind of changed up their sound as time went on, but ended up keeping their core sound and just constantly reinventing themselves over the course of the 10-year run that they had, was the Beatles. I mean, the Beatles, they went through 4 different eras, because it was what was it? It was their normal rock era, their British Invasion era, their psychedelic era, and then they're back to their roots era. And it's so they went through 4 different eras, and I probably got that wrong. I know the psychedelic and back to the roots are number 3 and number 4, because I mean, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and Twist and Shout are completely different sounding songs, but the base of their core sound is still there. So that's why the Beatles, that's why it really worked well for them. When it comes to Bring Me the Horizon, I don't think it works well, because again, that core sound is gone. The first thing when I looked at this album, I knew right away that I'm like, this is not gonna go well, because there's a song number 4, it's an upside down question mark. And I just saw who it features, and it says featuring Halsey. I thought, why is it whenever I see Halsey featured on a rock track, I know that song is not going to be good. I know that album is probably not going to be good. It happened with 30 Seconds to Mars in America, because I think Halsey was featured on Love Is Madness, and I was just like, oh no. So it seems like there's kind of a Halsey curse to it, where I mean, but again, this is all my opinion too. Where if I see Halsey as a feature on an album, I'm like, this album is gonna be really fun to listen to. And by fun to listen to, I'm like, I hope it's just a one-off thing, but I've never seen it be a one-off thing. If you guys can give me a song by like some band featuring Halsey, some rock band or metal band featuring Halsey, that the album didn't completely like stink the rest of the way, or they completely didn't like go all full pop on it, yeah, I'd love to see it. But the couple ones that I know for sure of, it just like Halsey is, I mean, like especially for rock music and metal music fans, it's like Halsey is like that when you see her name pop up as a feature, I'm like, okay, this band went pop. Or this band did something. I just don't know what it is. It's kind of like that, am I going to call it the Halsey curse now? I think there's got to be more that I need to really look into on it, but I might start looking at that and maybe might have to trademark the Halsey curse on this one. Because, I mean, take a listen to that Bring Me the Horizon album that came out on the 27th. It's, unless you're going to be high as hell and just tripping out on something, I really just don't see the value in it. Which really stinks because, especially, again, like I was saying with Bring Me the Horizon, when they came out with Ludens in, like, November of 2019, that's what, like, if they're going to go pop or more EDM, that's what I was hoping they would do, is something like that. It's like, because I get it, you're going there, but it sounded like a Bring Me the Horizon song. I mean, Ali Sykes still can scream like that. And now I get it, like, with That's the Spirit, it's like, yeah, they went from, like, metalcore to hard rock. I'm like, yeah, but they're still rocking out, like, you can still tell it's Bring Me the Horizon. But when Amo, I was like, I couldn't tell. I just couldn't do it. Why do you think I picked Nihilist Blues, my worst song of the year? So did the fans, too. That was the only one that me and the fans agreed on, was that Nihilist Blues was the worst song of 2019. And I just couldn't stand it. I mean, and then when it came down to the worst album of the year, yeah, the fans went with Amo. I would have gone with Amo. There goes a car. So, guys, enjoy that car that just completely interrupted the podcast. This is what happens when I'm living in, not the best area of town, and the walls are kind of, thin, even though I live in a brick building. The window's really thin, so all of a sudden, you hear a car go past, you're going to hear the motor go, "Rrrr." But back to what I was saying. Yeah, the fans picked Amo as the worst album of the year. If it wasn't for my neighbor saying, oh, I want to see your reactions, listen to this AJR band, and find out that AJR actually topped the rock charts this year for a little bit. Oh, God, yeah, they were the clear-cut favorite to be the loser. I'm like, oh, no. Just did not hit well. And I'm a little just, not happy about it. But, shit happens. What are you going to do? But, yeah, I just really let down by Bring Me the Horizon. I don't really think I want to see him in concert at the moment, just because when it comes to, I think they're just going to play a lot off of Amo and then off of this new thing, and it's just like, well, I kind of wouldn't mind hearing a good amount off of That's the Spirit, and then it's like some of your older stuff too, like, come on, we got to rock out hard. I think even Kerrang put it, Amo was like the best British album of the year, which of course I'm like, I have to disagree with you guys. It wasn't. It really wasn't. But you know what? What are you going to do about it? That's just what happens. So yeah, Bring Me the Horizon, I don't know what you guys were doing. I think 30 or Bring Me the Horizon is like the new 30 Seconds to Mars. With that kind of changeover, because that's just the way they're going about it. We also had Asking Alexandria release the deluxe edition of their self-titled album that came out in 2017. And I had some people look like, you got to listen to it. You got to listen to it. I'm like, okay, well, I took a listen. I'm going to pull it up real quick so I don't make a fool of myself. And if you hear that typing, yeah, that's my keyboard. Woo! So yeah, the LP5 deluxe edition. That's what they came out with this year. Taking a look at it. Whoa, where'd it go? Did I miss it up? No, I didn't. So it's like, I took a look at it, and because they've got about, let's see, 6 songs on there, where they take some of the songs that they've done, and they just kind of mix them up. The one you're going to want to listen to on this one is the rock version of Vultures, because they really wind it down a lot. I mean, it's a lot more acoustic, that's just the way it is, but honestly, I thought it was a pretty good song. I mean, I really liked it. I know a lot of people in the My Song Day Rock 2008 community really liked that song, so I'm like, okay, you guys did good on this one. So now the fact that they come out with like some like, different, releases for that, deluxe edition. We'll see if they come out with a new record in 2020. I assume so. I actually had the day of recording this, one of the guy or the person that actually told me about the Asking Alexandria one to come out. He sent me a thing from Caleb Shomo's story. So of course, Caleb Shomo, lead singer of Beartooth. And they were asking, when are we getting the next Beartooth album? Like, when do you expect the next Beartooth album to come out? And then and according to Caleb Shulman on his Instagram story, second half of 2020. I thought, oh boy, because taking a look at the 3 albums that Beartooth has come out with, Beartooth has not misstepped over the course of those 3 albums. They've consistently improved, with Disease being, in my opinion, was the best album of the year. And after I did the Ice Nine Kills Silver Scream retrospective, I struggled because I'm like, well, if I do when I did the retrospective, I'm like, I got to include the Silver Scream in the top albums of 2018. But it's going to be number 2 or number 1. It's like, does it beat out Beartooth by Disease? I wrestled with that one for a couple of days, actually. Cause I'm like, because I listen to the Silver Scream a lot more. I do. I mean, since this year, I've become enthralled with Ice Nine Kills. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I was like, I got to pick between one or the other. I'm like, you know what? I'm sticking with my original pick because, yes, 2 reasons. 1, it's my original pick. I don't want to back out on that. 2, I still think that it was just it didn't misstep anyway. Neither really did the Silver Scream, but I just decided to stick with my original one. Like, and I think there just has like a couple of different instances where I'm like, okay, they definitely did a little bit better here, where Ice Nine could have improved. But you know what? Ice Nine Soul's at number 2 now, and Beartooth's Disease at number 1. So if Beartooth comes out with a their 4th album in 2020, second half of 2020, I mean, get ready to see a review on that one. Get ready to see some fun stuff on that one, because I'm hopefully we can get in contact with Beartooth. We can actually kind of have him on here, because that'll be, second half. We'll see how big we are at that point. But now enough with like new music and stuff 2020. I want to take a look back at 2019. Because friends, the My Song of the Day thing really started as an idea back in March of 2018 and officially started when it came to like actually putting stuff out there in August of 2018. So this has been the first like full calendar year that we've had doing this stuff, or that I've had doing this stuff. And I kind of want to take a little bit of time to reflect and talk to you guys and be like, you know what was positive about 2019 with My Song of the Day Rock 2000 Day? What did we do? And I started writing down some of my favorite moments from the year. And one of my favorite moments started from the year, like favorite things that happened during the year, started back in January. And that was when our Instagram follower Evie decided to say, "Hey Kevin, you got to listen to this band that I really like." I said, "What band?" She said, "Motionless in White." So of course, listened to Voices, liked Voices. So I listened to another song, which was Eternally Yours. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Now I was instantly hooked, and I got to see Motionless in White twice. And through that, I'm like, I started like, kind of getting more into other bands of that genre, the metalcore genre, because at the beginning of the year, I really didn't care for all the unclean vocals and screams. I just really didn't. As the year has gone on, I think especially through Motionless in White, I've kind of really gotten down path with it. And like, okay, I'm enjoying this a lot more. This is getting better. I'm good with this. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And as it was going on, like, of course, now I'm starting to check Loudwire even more, like, and Kerrang, Alt Press, just to kind of maybe get some ideas for some things, maybe have some fun with that, and just see what we can come up with. And through that, I remember back in April, because I was looking at something for Falling in Reverse, because Drugs had just come out with the Corey Taylor preview. I'm like, oh, this is awesome, like, because I actually really like the song as well. Not as much as their other one, which we will get to. But when I was reading about Falling in Reverse, just like on just about drugs or something, yeah, with the song Drugs, not them on drugs, but just a song. They were on tour, the episode 3 tour with Ice Nine Kills at the time. And I remember reading the whole entire thing with Ice Nine Kills getting banned from Disney, which I thought, okay, I gotta look at this. So a band is getting banned from Disney's House of Blues. I'm like, we gotta take a look at this, because I was at the Disney House. I saw the Disney House of Blues like 2 months beforehand when I was in Daytona with my dad, because we went to Disney on Friday, the 15th. Yeah, because his cousins live down there. They're like, oh, let's go to Disney, let's have some fun. I'm like, okay, I'm down with it, whatever. So, I mean, I got to see the House Blues, but, if I was there 2 months later, I probably could have gotten to see, not gotten to see Ice Nine Kills, unfortunately. But enough with that. So, they had the whole entire thing where all of a sudden I found out that they were making merch based off of it. And like, no, this is freaking awesome. And after I saw the merch, I'm like, I wish I want to get some, but I don't know the band, so I'm like, I'm not going to get some. And as time went on, like, I just completely forgot about Ice Nine Kills. I think it was like in September or something. I started like, I wanted to I was looking for a band to feature on one of the days. I was lost. I'm like, oh, let's try this Ice Nine Kills band, because I remember reading about them, and I remember seeing them as a concert that was coming to Milwaukee. So I'm like, okay, I gotta pick it up, because I really want to see Light the Torch for that one. I want to see Howard Jones perform. That was the show that I was gonna go see, and I had to pick a song. I wanted to pick a song to feature them, so I got to get used to it. And I picked "Stabbing in the Dark" off the Silver Scream because of how hard it went, and it was based off of one of my favorite horror movies of all time, Halloween. So I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. So I put it on there. And then because I knew how big of a Halloween band they were and all the imagery they put around their stuff, I went with another one off the Silver Scream right before Halloween, which I went with "A Grave Mistake," because that is just a beautiful song. And those are the only two I really listened to up until that point. Then I went to go see Ice Nine Kills live. And, I mean, I was hooked from that moment right then and there. Because I just saw him, I'm like, all this music is fantastic. It's all like, it's all horror based on something. So I'm like, okay, now I'm going to listen to their whole entire discography one day at work and just see what happens. Of course, their first two albums, I'm like, okay, they definitely had more of like a ska punk thing going on, which, of course, I don't mind ska punk. I actually pretty much like it. Not as much as, punk rock or metalcore or hard rock now. But I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying this. And then I listened to their third album, and I heard "The Fast Way to Girl's Heart" is through her ribcage. I'm like, okay, this is definitely, this is definitely a good song. Like, this is where you can tell, like, where the band's kind of coming into their own now, really figuring out what the band was going to end up being. Listen to Every Trick in the Book and love that album. Listen to the whole entire Silver Scream album. Like, now this is some good stuff. And I mean, I went from this year not even knowing who the band was to not even giving the band a shot until I saw them 2 months ago. To then, now I've got, let's see, I bought a t-shirt at their show. It's like the one of the two shows, or it's one of the three shows here, I'm like, I bought something at the show. Because like their t-shirts were freaking sick. I got that Ghostface one with the phone and the bloody knife. But then as time went on, I'm like, I started collecting more. Like, I found those, like, the Disney ones. I'm like, I gotta get me some of those. I wanted Leatherface Goofy. I wanted Freddy Krueger Mickey. I really wanted the Donald Duck It Is the End one with Pennywise the Clown. I'm like, now this is freaking great. So I end up finding all three of them, and I end up getting all three of them somehow. I'm like, now this is awesome. And then I just got in the mail right before Christmas. I got their Merry Xmas t-shirt, the long sleeve white t-shirt. And I'm like, yeah, I wore it to Christmas. It was fun. And now I got their the poster, like the Band They Try to Band Is Back poster, which right now is not up in the room right now. But once I start ripping this video for the podcast, once I actually put it through the editing process and rip it, yeah, that thing's coming out. That thing is definitely coming out. But it's going to be like, I mean, I'm going to find a frame for it, put it up there. But I got, like, no room here because if you see the walls that you can see, so the wall that you see with the 30 Seconds of Mars stuff on it, the only place I might put it is above the poster right here, the Monolith, or the North America Tour 2018. Is it the Monolith Tour, North America? Yeah, Monolith Tour. Then I've got the wall above, then also you got the flag right here. Got the wall over here, I've got the, let's see, what flag is that? The Israel flag with the Disturbed logo in the middle. Instead of just the Star Dave, we get the whole Disturbed logo from the, what album was that? The Believe album. And then next to it, I've got the Rise Against poster from Riot Fest. On the other side of the window, I don't have very much space, so I have two posters. I've got a Foo Fighters Sonic Highways one featuring Rise Against, and a Rise Against featuring AFI and Anti-Flag. Then next to that, on my door, I've got Let's Skull Crazy, which is the Minneapolis Miracle poster. On the other side of that, I have the Believe vinyl, and then above my dresser, I have a Mars Island 2019 one, but then above my desk over here, that's my closet, so I got my clothes hanging. So I really got no place to put it, but I want to put it in a frame just so I have it in a frame. And I'll talk about what I could do with that, looking ahead at 2020. But just the fact that I was like, I got to discover Motionless in White, who's become one of my top 10 bands so far. And Ice Nine Kills, who I think if I redid my top 10 list, will catapult up to 3. I think just behind right now, of course, Rise Against at number 1 and Disturbed at number 2. So I think Ice Nine Kills comes at 3 because I can't stop listening to them. I've been listening consistently for 2 months and I'm still not sick of them. Like, I still listen to them all the time, especially Every Trick in the Book and the Silver Scream. I mean, I'm so into it. A couple of other good things that we looked for that we got to do in 2019 remind myself. The introduction of Small Band Saturdays and everything that's come out with it. So ever since Small Band Saturday came out, this was an idea that one of our followers said, hey, why don't you give it a shot? I'm like, okay, well, I got to figure out how to do it. And this show's going to do smaller bands that, were just like smaller touring, like, the touring bands. But then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I put a Facebook ad out there, I'm like, or Instagram ad out there. I'm like, let's see if any bands want it. I've done this 3 times. And every time I get an amazing amount of responses, I've gotten to know a good amount of these bands, these smaller bands, and I've gotten to talk to a bunch of them. I mean, Kingdom Collapse and GFM Gold Frankincense are all based around that. However, we never did Kingdom Collapse on Small Band Saturday because I thought they were going to be a little too big for Small Band Saturday. And so we always had them on like a Wednesday, or I think I did a Friday one day too with them. But like through that idea, that's how I got to know them. Ascending from Ashes is another one, because once they come out with their new music, once they're ready to come out, we're gonna have them on here again, and I'm actually gonna try and get like a live thing going with them too, so we can actually get that going a lot better. Let's see what else have we done with Small Band Saturday? Within Temptation and Apollo 3, and then who was the other one? Trivial Difference. Yes, those are the ones we've had on here. I've had an amazing time talking to each and every one of them because it's just fun. It's just a lot of fun, and it's through this Small Band Saturday, it's like, we're getting to know the future of rock music and metal here in America. Like, you're getting to hear the bands that are coming up now. Now, will every single band pan out and, become as big as, let's say, Disturbed, or Rise Against, or Ice Nine Kills, or Skillet, or Papa Roach, or Killswitch Engage, or Trivium, or Slipknot? I mean, no, the numbers aren't going to go for that unless I get incredibly lucky. However, could a couple of these pop off, and could you have been like, oh, I found them, my song of the day first? Yeah. I mean, I just love giving these bands the chance to increase their audience. And who knows, maybe someone in the audience is like, I see this stuff, I'm listening to it, and I really like their sound, I'm listening to more, and all of a sudden, maybe they're connected somewhere else to the point where all of a sudden, next thing you know, you get a band like GFM going on tour with Skillet or something. Now that'd be sick. Or you get a band like Kingdom Collapse going on tour with Alter Bridge. Or you get a band like Ascending from Ashes opening for Disturbed. Or you get something like Apollo 3 or Within Temptation opening for Anti-Flag or Pennywise. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. And it could all happen because of what we're doing here. You never know. It's just something you got to try. It's something we try. And something we're going to keep doing because Small Band Saturday, I absolutely love doing. I love hearing everyone's music that's not out there that's as popular, in pop, not necessarily pop culture, but like in the rock and metal community, but getting more people to listen and to know. I absolutely love doing that. One of the other great things about we did in 2019 was the beginning of the podcast. And through the podcast, I mean, you've gotten to know some of these bands too, like especially the ones we've interviewed, because you've gotten to hear them. You've gotten to talk, you get to hear the talk to them, and you've gotten to hear a much deeper take on different things with music. You've gotten to hear us talk with you guys as well, the fans, and really kind of get into that as well. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm very glad we've been doing the podcast as well. One of my other favorite moments from 2019, I mean, I've gone through all the concerts I've gone to, but God, I still remember when my pick for favorite song of the year, Popular Monster by Falling Reverse, I still remember when that dropped. It was like a Wednesday. It was the Wednesday before. It was 8 days before Thanksgiving, because it was Wednesday the 20th, I believe. And I remember I was at work and I saw this. Wait, Falling Reverse came out with a new song, and I already had my list of the top 10 songs of the year. I already had that completed. I'm like, okay, let's take a listen. I just want to hear what it says, and all of a sudden, I'm listening to it, and after the first time, I just kept it on repeat like 10 or 11 times. I was that enthralled with the song. I'm like, holy crap. Do I have like a song of the year contender on my hands? After 11 times listening, I'm like, I don't have a song of the year contender on my hands. I have the song of the year on my hands. And I still can't stop listening to it. And then Saints of the Blood came out by Black Veil Brides on Thanksgiving. I'm like, I got to redo some of my top 10 because holy crap, listen to these songs. Like, these bands just came out at the end of the year with 2 songs. I'm like, it just destroyed. I mean, it bumped one of my favorite songs of the year, In the Deep, from 1 to 2. It bumped out Drugs, but of course it's gonna bump out Drugs because I'm like, I didn't think Drugs was gonna be my top 10, was gonna be at number 10. All of a sudden Popular Monster came. I'm like, yeah, Drugs is gone, but Popular Monster is number 1. I mean, it was crazy, just the amount of crazy good music we heard. And I looked overall, when it comes to 2019 and why it was the best year so far for me. And this might not only be for, the year, like just while doing this project, of course, because it's my first full year. So, but in life as well, this probably was my favorite year up to this point. And it's all kind of started out with something that happened on New Year's Day 2019. So actually, I'm going to go back to New Year's Eve 2018. So New Year's Eve 2018, I'm hanging out with a couple of my friends, and it's 11:30 at night. And all of a sudden, my buddy's like, "Hey, I'm going over by this girl's house, and his two friends were coming, but I didn't really want to go because I'm like, I kind of want to hang out downtown with all the people, and we were just having a good time, and I just didn't want to really go over there. So they left, they ditched me. I was on my own. I got the bar that I was going to be at to play Welcome to the Black Parade as the clock struck midnight. So we went in the new year listening to Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. Totally worth it. I 100% think you should give that a shot if you haven't. But then I had a lot of my friends saying like, oh, we should do the Polar Plunge on January 1st in Lake Michigan. And of course, I'm all into it. Because it was kind of cold, but it wasn't too cold out. I'm like, let's go do it. Let's go do it. Let's go do it. So, of course, it's about 9 a.m. on New Year's Day. I, awaken from my slumber and decide, you know what? Let's go and do this. So I try calling my friends that were not by me. Nope, no one answered, no one picked up. My buddy, he ended up back at his parents' house, because we both lived at home at the time. That's my roommate as well. Right now, we lived right next door to each other when we were growing up, so I went over to his house, and these two friends were there. I'm like, come on, guys, let's go. We got to get down there before, noon, because noon, everyone's running in, we're running out. And that's it, so we got to get going now. And they kind of were dragging their feet, and they said, no, we're not going, because we just don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, you guys said you were going to do it, come on. So it was about 11:15, and I went home pissed. I'm like, about 45 minutes before the Polar Plunge was going to happen. I was pissed because I had all my friends that wanted to do this. And I was the one driving it. All of a sudden it's like, no, we don't want to do it. And I said, you know what? Fuck this. You want to know why? Because I've been doing things for so long where it's like I decided not to do things because I was supposed to do them with a group of people and everyone backed out. And I'm getting used to people backing out of me on a lot of things. And this is something I really wanted to do. I really wanted to go and do it. So all of a sudden I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. 2019 is going to be the year that I do things for me, and that's that. Where if I want to go do something, screw you if you don't want to go and do it. I'm going to go and do it because it's what's going to make me happy. It's going to make me be the person that I want to be. So, of course, there I'm at home putting all my crap on, and Mom's like, Kevin, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going. She's like, oh, are your friends? And I'm like, no, they all backed out. And I was right about to walk out the door, and Mom's like, wait, so you're going by yourself? I'm like, yeah. She said, don't go. I'm like, all right, Mom, why don't you want me to go? She's like, give me 2 minutes so I can go with you. Okay, I'll deal with that. So my mom went down. Basically, she didn't jump in, though. I jumped in, though. She was the one that just kind of held my shit, basically, make sure no one stole my crap. And from that moment on, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing things for me this year. If there's things that I want to do, I'm going to go do them. So where that all ended up turning into was January 2019 with the whole entire Mars Island thing. It's something that's like, yeah, I'd never been out of the country before. I was going there alone. Well, when I got to Croatia, I got to meet my friends there from the previous year, Camp Mars. But I'm like, you know what? I want to go and do this. So guess what I did? I paid for it. I went out there. Or I was set to go out there. I got to go to Daytona with my dad because that was what we were going to be doing first. I was going to do for his 60th birthday. We had a great time. That's why I got drunk at Disney World, which was freaking insane. The amount of concerts I went to just by myself was amazing. And I love going to concerts by myself because I get to do whatever I want. I don't have to worry about babysitting anybody, and I can just have fun the way I want to have fun. Sure, I've been to shows this year, like the 2 Disturbed shows I went to, and I got to meet Kathy Miller at both of those. Of course, those are fantastic. I'm trying to think of a couple other shows I got to go and see with some other people. When I see August Burns Red with my buddy Ross, and we tipped up the benches. I got to see Beartooth I Prevail and A Day to Remember with my buddy Ross, and I got to see that one with my buddy Chris as well. But most of the show, all the really, really, really good shows that I got to see. Oh, okay, Motionless in White the second time when my friend Natasha showed up, and she ended up getting me the piece of her shirt so my eye would, I can, put some paper towel above my eye so it wouldn't stop, so it stopped bleeding. Yeah, that was awesome. I'm glad I got to see it with her. But when I went to go to Riot Fest, someone met me down there, but I was like, but then all of a sudden in the pit, he jumped out after 3 songs, and I stayed in for the whole freaking thing. I didn't give a shit because I was gonna go by myself, and anyway. I wanted to have some fun. Ice Nine Kills went by myself. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones I went to by myself. Evanescence, yeah, that was hot as all hell. I really didn't feel like going because it was 85, 90 degrees outside, humid, and no AC in there. But I'm really glad I went because Amy Lee put on one hell of a performance. Going crazy, seeing Seven Dust, and the pit was fun for that one. Skillet, Under Oath, and Breaking Measurement. Skillet the second time, my friends wanted to go see Atmosphere. I'm like, fuck you guys, I'm going to see fucking Skillet. And I was happier that I did that. And I'm kind of just keeping up with that moniker too, because looking at 2020, I mean, that's kind of what I'm going with, because I just like doing it. I was going to do these for myself and myself only, and I'm glad the Ghost Note Symphonies one. Oh my God, was that totally freaking worth it. I bought 2 tickets because I had a friend that wanted to go, and then they backed out, and I had to eat $75. But screw it, I still went because I wanted to go see Rise Against. It was freaking insane. So, and then not only that, but like kind of some of the other fun stuff, like, just like the smaller things. Like waking up early every single day, kind of work on some of the stuff. Saturdays, I wake up at 5:30 so I can hit the gym first, and I can come work on all this stuff, and I don't have to worry about trying to squeeze my workout in there, which is what I like to do. I like to lift. Why not? Trying to think of some of the other things I've done for myself. Switching jobs. Oh my God, that was needed, but it was so worth it. So yeah, like I don't work at my old full-time job anymore. Like I quit my first full-time job I've had out of college back at the end of August, and I started a week later at a different company that I'm at right now. So like, yeah. So basically, I've been doing a lot of things for myself, like focusing on myself. And why it's become the best year of my life so far was just because of 2 things. One, the first thing is happiness. I've been doing things that are for me, making me happy, like going to Daytona with my dad for his 60th birthday. And getting to see the Daytona 500, which is something we've always wanted to do. Going to Croatia to meet with my friends and go do the 30 Seconds of Mars thing. And traveling by myself. Going to Amsterdam and having the wildest fucking 40 hours of my entire life. Yeah, that was for me. And I walked around. I had no clue where the hell I was going. And so I just walked around. It was fantastic. I got to do whatever the heck I wanted to. I got to meet so many people. I got to hang out with so many different people from all different walks of life. Got to drink with them. Got to have one hell of a huge party. Got to see an Ajax match. I'm like, this is absolutely amazing. Why don't I do this more? And it's just some of the other things, that I got done too. It's just like, especially like, concerts. I want to go do that. I want to go to this concert in Minneapolis. I'm going to go. I wanted to go and see the Gopher Penn State game with all my friends. Everyone backed out except my one buddy who's just super into the Gophers. I'm like, I'm still showing up. And I did, and it was one of the best games ever. So basically it's kind of, I've been doing things for me because it's what I want to do with my song of the day, with life, and it's made me happy. And the biggest thing is that happiness has transformed into utter confidence to the point where I'm like, I know I can do all of this. So when it comes like to the My Song of the Day stuff, it's something where I remember Gary V. So this is good old Gary Vaynerchuk. He's always talking about self-awareness. It's like he wants you to do good if you want to have something to do good, but sometimes not everyone's going to be the number one. Like you're trying to start a business, start a company, not everyone's built to be a number one. You might have a couple of areas, but you might be better built to be like the number 7 or number 8 in the company. That might be where your sweet spot is. Through all this whole entire year, one of the biggest things I learned was when it comes to this and the My Song of the Day stuff, I'm the number 1. I know I am. And I know I got this down. And that confidence has just reverberated into every different aspect of life to the point where, playing soccer, yeah. Confident going to everything. Confident we can win every single game. Confident even when we're down, it's like, okay, we can make a comeback on this. We just got to do it. We just got to, play our game, do it the right way. Confident work as well. It's like, we got a project to do. Who can do it? I'm like, give it to this guy because I know what the hell to do. Give it to me. Even if I'm not 100% sure. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to be damn sure to find the answer. When it comes to My Song of the Day stuff, like, yeah, there's plenty of mistakes I've made. But every single time I make a mistake, I figure out why I made that mistake, what the cause and effects were, and how to make sure when I get in a similar situation that I go the other way and make the right decision instead of making a mistake. Now, none of the mistakes have been gigantic, but I know there's going to end up being a gigantic mistake down the road because that always happens. I just got to know how to deal with it, and through all this stuff and have the confidence to deal with it, yeah, I'm totally there. Plus, then in life, too, it's just, with my friends, it's like, I love being able to just hang out with my friends, too, but just the confidence, be able to reverberate there. And then there's also, the confidence boosters here and there. But just the fact of the matter is I remember back where I was in 2017. Actually, let's go back to 2016 because 2016 was the last time I was like at a peak confidence level, and this was in between the summer between my junior and senior year of college. Then I went through my senior year and still feeling pretty good about myself. But then as life started after college, I just completely lost myself. I lost who I was, and I really started to resent myself, which then made the people that loved me when I hated myself, I pushed them away. Yeah, I still think about that. I still do think about that, and I know it's like when it comes to like why I went to that downward spiral in 2017, it was because of me. It wasn't because of anyone else. It wasn't because someone threw me in there. It was because of the system. It wasn't because, oh, I didn't have enough support. No, it's because I was going through stuff in my mind where it's like I was destroying myself and I was refusing to have people help me or let people help me or to open up to people, which caused me to go into his downward depression, caused friends not to want to hang out with me anymore. And I just completely lost it. And it took so long to figure out what I wanted to do to try and like what actually makes me happy. How do I want to get back there? And this is it. The My Song of the Day stuff, this is it. And now take a look at it right now. It's like, yeah, we're growing as we are. Sure, we're not the biggest, thing out there, but we're growing. We're still there. And my confidence level is through the freaking roof. I absolutely love it. And I'm taking that into 2020. Now, going into 2020, there's a good number of things I'm looking forward to. And I want to talk to you about them. One thing I'm looking forward to a lot of is concerts. What kind of concerts, Kevin? Well, I got a list of like my concert wish list. So there's bands I've seen already that I want to go see again. Of course, you guys know Rise Against is up there. They're the number one. I got to see Disturbed again because I want to see them with Kathy again, and hopefully meet them at one point. Ice Nine Kills, I want to go see them again because I can't get enough of their music. I want to go see that insane set. Hollywood Undead, I want to go see again because the fact that matters, they're coming out with the new album. I haven't seen them in 3 years, and I really want to go see them again. Breaking Measurement, I want to go see again. Motionless in White, especially after the 2 insane shows I saw with them. Skillet, I'm going to see in January, and I'd like to see them more than once. I'd like to see 3 Days Grace again. I would like to see Beartooth again. I'm going to see In This Moment again in April. I want to see After the Burial again because that's how I got my eye cut. Anti-Flight because I missed their last show. I want to go see them. I want to see Chevelle, Papa Roach, A Day to Remember. I want to see Evanescence again, especially if they're coming out with a new album. Killswitch Engage, Light the Torch once again, and Under Oath. So those are all the bands that I've seen already that I want to see again. Now the bands that I haven't seen yet that I want to see, there's a couple I've already set and ready to go see. I'm ready to go see Alter Bridge in February. I'm ready to go see Escape the Fate and Falling in Reverse in February. How cool is that? I'm going to see Bad Omens in March. I get to see Kingdom Collapse in March with Jonathan Norris. I can see We Came as Romans and Black Veil Brides for the first time in April. And in July for Life Fest, I get to go and see the girls at GFM. The other bands I want to see I want to be able to see in 2020 that I haven't seen. I want to see the Foo Fighters at least once. I want to see Against Me, Architects, the metalcore band from the UK, As I Lay Dying, Ascending from Ashes. Yeah, I want to see them. Crown the Empire, Fever 333. I gotta see Fight the Fury. I want to see Five Finger Death Punch. I know people are like, oh, why Five Finger Death Punch? Yeah, I still want to go see them. Godsmack, Hailstorm, Memphis May Fire. My Chemical Romance is doing that reunion tour. They're coming back. Yeah, I want to see them. Of Mice and Men, because I missed them that one time. Queens of the Stone Age, Sleeping with Sirens, Slipknot, Trivium, System of a Down, Volbeat, Within Temptation, Saint Sonia, and hopefully they come back and pierce the veil. Those are all the different bands I want to see in 2019. Or not 2019, 2020. So I'm going to see if I can knock them all out, but I just want to see them all because they mean so much. I love their music and they mean so much to me. The other thing with the concert wish list is, especially because I get to actually go and see 2 of these smaller bands I already know for sure that we've done a lot of work with Kingdom Collapse and GFM. I get to see them live. I actually get to, meet them, and I can't wait to meet them. I can't wait to meet Kingdom Collapse in March when they're playing in Chicago. I can't wait to meet GFM at Life Fest when they're playing in July. I'm stoked for this stuff. Just because of all the things that we've done here on My Song of the Day, and it just shows that, there's how much like of an impact we can potentially have on a grand scale, but also the amount of impact we're having now. So that's really what I'm excited for. Couple other things looking forward to in 2020. I'm going to address a little bit of probably what you guys are wondering right now. It's, take a look at this, the sweatshirt. So for Christmas in 2019, my mom and dad said, I don't know what to get you boys. Well, to me and my brother, like, I know what to get you boys. So this is your big gift. I hope you enjoy. So she had my brother open his first. Yeah. And he got a decanter and a 6-glass whiskey set. Like, really nice glass, like crystal. And my brother was stoked because my brother manages a bar. And he loves whiskey. He's like, yo, we're putting some, like, Primo Jameson in here. I'm like, hell yeah. And then my mom's like, okay, Kevin, I didn't know what to get you, so open up yours. I open up, I'm like, I see a gray sweatshirt. I'm like, okay, you got me a gray sweatshirt. And then all of a sudden, boom, it has the My Song of the Day logo on it, embroidered. I'm like, I at least said, what the hell? I looked at him, I'm like, are you kidding me? I was stoked. And she's like, oh yeah, there's one more. I got a backpack with it too. I'm like, and I was like, wait, how did you get my logo? Like, how did you get this? She's like, oh, I gave your business card to your cousins and they took care of it. So now they have your logo and everything. I'm like, wait a minute. My cousins, the guys have had a screen printing business since 2007. You know, custom apparel, they do screen printing, but now they do like embroidery, they do all this stuff. Anything you need custom apparel, I'm like, wait a minute, Mom. Did you just like start the merch line for me? Because she got a jacket, my dad got a sweatshirt. My brother didn't get anything, ha ha ha. But of course, you know, I'm gonna get him something somewhere down the line. But I'm like, did we just start the merch line? So in 2020, I'm gonna end up exploring options of, you know, let's get some more freaking merch and let's sell it. Let's sell it. You know, why not? And if you guys have ideas for what merch to work with, I'll listen. I'll take some of your ideas. I really want to see what you guys have to come up with. Because I want to create a t-shirt and give some t-shirts away to some people as well. Like the Kingdom Collapse and the girls at GFM. When I see them, I want to have something for them because them, you know, them having faith in me to help promote them means a lot to me. I want to show my appreciation. But I got to come up with something special for each of them. I already kind of have it. I don't know what I'm going to do with King Collapse though. I got an idea what I want to do with the shirt, with specific shirts for GFM though. So with merch line, with potential merch line, one other thing I'm looking to do is, well, now there's 3 other things I'm looking to do. So the merch line is one of the major things we're looking to end up expanding in 2020. The second thing is sponsors. Well, we've been kind of working on that now, but once January hits, you know, we're really going to start taking off on that. So maybe, you know, when we do the shameless plugs, it's not going to be so shameless. We're actually going to get paid for this stuff. That'd be sick. We'll see about that. And then one of the other things, too, is okay, so now... Wait, what the heck is that? Why do I have why do I like a plastic circle in my sock? That's weird. But, okay, so one of the other things I'm looking to do is, you know, now I've got, you know... I'm looking to do sponsors and merch, but like with the merch, I got to find a place to house the merch. Do I house it at a warehouse? I'm going to talk to my cousins about it, but one other thing, you know, I talked about, like, moving on from this place because I'm going to have to move out at the end of April. Yeah. I'm looking to, you know, maybe, you know, get a new place. I have to. But will I just rent an apartment? Buy a condo? Buy a house? I actually looked at my finances. I have the money to do all 3. It just depends on what I want to do and how I want to spend that money at the moment and what's long-term versus short-term benefits and losses. You know, I have to deal with all that stuff, but I'm ready to go for that. So we'll see how that goes. So you're definitely going to see a change of scenery from the podcast on December 31st, 2019 to the podcast on December 30th, 2020. Definitely change of scenery for what we do. But then the last thing we're looking to do in 2020, or I'm looking to do in 2020, and I'm going to be completely and frankly honest with everybody. No, we're not. No, it's not something where it's like, oh, this is going to be over by the end of 2020 if we don't hit this. No. It's nothing like that. The honest part is, look, guys, during the week, I wake up, I go to my full-time job, I go to the gym afterwards, and then I work on this, I fall asleep, I repeat that for the weekdays. The weekends, you just take the full-time job out of there, and I'm still working on this, you know, 10, 11 hours during that time. During those days. And my phone just went buzz. Look at that, buzz, woohoo. Oh, wow, got a lot of shit to look at. Okay, screw that. But I spend a lot of time on this. And especially with the year-end stuff, with coming December, I realize that with everything we're doing, we're kind of I'm growing at a little bit more of a faster rate than I expected, which is a good thing. But I'm going to be able to sustain that. And I won't be able to sustain that the only way to be able to sustain that is 2 ways. One is keep doing what I'm doing, but find a way to get even less sleep than I already do. And I don't think there's going to be a way for me to circumvent sleep. I just don't. It's just not going to happen. But the other way that I can end up circumventing that, or like fixing that issue, is maybe not do this all on my own. So what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is in 2020, I'm going to start looking to bring more people into the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 Day project, or the My Song of the Day project as a whole. So what would that as a whole entail? What as a whole entail would be, bringing somebody in to help out with the video editing or the content creation for like the what we do post on Instagram and Twitter, for the when I pick the songs of the day, when I record them, creating the little 30-second preview videos and the posts, and upload, maintain the Alexa skill. I mean, this isn't gonna be all one person. Like, it could be multiple people, but in the end, I'm gonna end up needing some help by the end of 2020 for sure. So hopefully, we can make that happen. We're going to make that happen. I'm going to need help by the end of 2020. Actually, probably halfway through 2020. So we'll probably be looking to bring some people on, either as maybe, employees or partners, or I don't know how I want to do that. But then again, the wheels are already turning to make that happen. So get ready for that, because biggest things looking forward to 2020 that we're going to end up doing is, I'm going to go with the 5 things we're doing, the big things we're working on in 2020. 1, the merch line, because now it's started. 2, increase sponsorship, because, well, I want to get some sponsorships for this stuff to kind of, help us, grow even more, to get more music out there for people, especially for the small bands. Bring in some help. 4, get more involved with these smaller bands. And 5, get more in contact with these bigger bands so that we can end up having them on the show, on the podcast, on maybe a YouTube video or something like that, or just kind of have a conversation with them, put it on YouTube, whatever it might be. But basically kind of, also get some of these bigger bands on there, because then all of a sudden, you get the bigger bands on there, all of a sudden, oh man, now you're the page that you're the place people want to go to for rock and metal. I want to do that. One other thing, we could always do too is instead of being My Song Day Rock 2000 a day, we could start just change it, the whole entire, I keep it the way it is, but just start adding on, like also do a My Song of the Day country, do a My Song of the Day 80s, My Song of the Day hip hop. You never know. It could work. I wouldn't do those though, because there's no way in hell I want to listen to that music and be a part of that community. I would be for me personally, I would be a part of this community, this rock and metal community. But as a whole entire business, yeah, we could have a personality be part of that country community or the hip hop community, or like big in the 80s. Who knows? We could make it happen. So that's what to look forward to in 2020, and I am super duper excited about that. Well, friends, it is that time once again. It is that time that we end the show. And to you, I wish you and your families and your friends a happy 2020. Happy 2020's decade. Let's go through the whole entire decade and rock our motherfucking faces off. Let's have a great decade. Have a great new year. And I can't even see what we do in 2020, because we're going to take a look back at this podcast at the end of 2020 and see what I wanted to do and see how far we got there. So that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching or listening. This is Kevin from the My Song Day Rock 2000 Today Chord Progression Podcast. And you guys know how I end all the podcasts, so you guys know it. See